Anime has a fan service problem, like severely. And if you disagree, you're probably a gooner. Alright, let me give you a little story. For context, I was laying in bed, like bored out of my mind. I was looking for a new romance anime to watch, because that's what I like to do in my free time, and there's nothing wrong with that. After scrolling through like a million TikTok slideshows, I came across My Dress Up Darling. Granted, I'd heard about it before, but like never actually watched it, because the name's pretty out there. It's about our girl Marin, who is a passionate love to cosplay, and our boy Gojo, who happens to have a passionate love to create costumes. Match made in heaven. I shut up, I thought it sounded cute. I got through the first episode, I was actually sort of invested in the characters. Overall, I thought the concept was actually kind of cool. Until Homegirl here decides this is a different kind of anime. Keep in mind, this is the second episode. Moving on though, they do all this measurement stuff in order to be able to make Marin cosplay. And our buddy Gojo here is freaking out, making a huge deal about it, which, to be fair, is fair enough. But, and big but here, not the kind you're thinking about. The costume gets made, it's a wholesome bonding moment for the two of them. Sweet, this is exactly what I signed up for. I love romance. The two of them decide the costume needs to be shown off to the world, and they attend a cosplay convention together. Yet, the animation is very, expressive. Now, I'm just gonna stop here because hopefully my point has been illustrated enough and I don't want to get demonetized. Granted, at first, as much as I was a bit uncomfortable, the anime hadn't crossed the threshold of a gooner anime for me. When Marin decides to ditch the clothes, it unfortunately does sort of make sense. Granted, it was a little straightforward, but the clothes would prevent an accurate body measurement being gained, which proves to be an important plot point in order for your buddy over here to make a good costume. Yeah, feel as over was stepping over the line of excessive versus contribution with this scene here. Because now, excuse me for my informality here, I don't see how some titties recoiling 24/7 adds to character depth, let alone a close-up shot of this. At first, the two characters actually shared a somewhat intimate moment, as well as the fact it did make sense. In some way or another, whilst it may be a little overkill, the fan service does prove to be important. Whereas, watching a scene like this, you can't help but wonder if the show got put in the wrong genre. Without a doubt, anime's biggest issue with fan service isn't actually that it's there, it's the fact that it's constantly there. And more often than not, it doesn't do anything. But now, you might be looking at the title, thinking, "Wait, this says anime has a fan service problem and he keeps yapping about My Dress Up Darling." And to that I would say, well, yeah, let's get into that. The fan service issue isn't just tied to one anime. Fire Force, My Hero Academia, Kagagori, Darling in the Franxx, Prison School, Food Wars, High School DxD, all of these are no stranger to this topic. But whilst we're on the topic of high school, yeah, so actually Marin over here, you know, the girl who's being like over-sexualized in ways beyond comprehension. There's one detail we're overlooking, and you've got 3 seconds to guess. 3, 2, time's up. She's 15! The girls in My Hero Academia wearing these revealing costumes, well, those are teenagers. Yes, the creepy comment this guy decided to leave, you're saying that about a minor. And worst of all, it's normalized. This concept of thirsting over digital women is no stranger in the anime community. Yet, because it's labeled as animation, people begin to say extremely questionable things, but it's accepted as nothing to worry about, because after all, characters aren't exactly real. I do need to preface though, if you're like 14 stressing about what I'm saying, dude, it's okay. If you can say something about a real person that won't give you jail time, you can say it about your anime waifu over there. Whilst the majority of anime really struggle to not sexualize young girls, I do want to give praise to a recent up-and-coming anime which has actually nailed how to do fan service. Gachiakuta is trash. No, like literally the whole thing is about trash. I won't get too deep into the lore because I'm lazy and can only do so much editing. I love my job. I'm bro. Long story short, whilst on one of the group's adventures, we run into this girl, Amo. If your eyes are currently open, you might notice the outfit she's rocking is a bit revealing, to say the least. Being completely transparent, when I first watched this episode, I was a bit caught off guard. This is the first time a character's been sexualized in a bold manner to the audience. Yet, as the episode progresses, we come to learn more about Amo. There's actually a reason she's like this. Amo was taken away from her parents at a young age, and was essentially held prisoner in this big tower with some creepy old dude. It's like a hella twisted Rapunzel. Now, I have to tread lightly on how I explain this for the algorithm's sake, as well as for personal experiences, but this man that Amo was living with was doing some really messed up things to her, treating her as an object for his own use. And the clothes she's wearing are the only clothes this creepy ass man actually gave her. Personally, I argue this scene isn't actually fan service, some people do. Yet, even if we are arguing it is a form of fan service, granted, her character design is bold to say the least. From an objective standpoint, her character's story and life that she's lived is being reflected in what we're seeing. In other words, what some label as fan service logically holds up. It makes sense for it to be there. Are you seeing a theme yet? Fanservice can actually be utilized in a way that captivates gooners whilst continuing to build the narrative. That is what makes or breaks the term gooner anime for me. What about Tulily? This is Tulily. She's got a unique outfit and big personalities. So unfunny. Is this character a bit on the exaggerated side? Like, yeah, probably. But to be honest, when she gets animated, I won't care, because firstly, she's 20. This is a full-grown adult, so it feels a little less discomforting. But not only that, she's essentially one of, if not the only character who provides some form of fan service to the Gooner audience, which means the manga doesn't over-sexualize young girls, let alone any girls. Congrats, that's 5 gold stars and a pat on the head. Essentially, what I'm getting from this, you can still have fan service without it being a huge turn-off. It doesn't need to be there all the time, and it doesn't need to be excessive, and it doesn't need to hit on little girls. That's freaking weird, dude. I know some of y'all saw the thumbnail and title of the video. I might have been a bit worried about which path I went on with this. And I know some of you were a bit too excited to see the thumbnail, but I'm really trying to get this message across to you. For whatever reason, I enjoy watching anime. I think the art style and methods of storytelling are really creative and inspiring at times. A lot of really good anime manage to share a story and a powerful message, and for whatever reason, it's always seemed to resonate with me. Will I be watching it in 30 years time? I guess we'll have to wait and see. But for now, I want to call out the elements of the community which I simply can't oblige with. Moving forward, the least we can do is be more conscious at how we approach the idea of fan service and acknowledge when the line is being excessively crossed. And to those of you who might be overindulging in the lustful content, I implore you to go find Jesus. He's pretty cool, guys. We gotta stop making everything sexual in one way or another. Okay, lots of love. Jesus loves you.